Guys, so I've decided to do a short video on how to protect ourselves from COVID-19. I know that I'm posting like 10 articles a day for the past few weeks. I'm well aware that I sound like the doomsday reporter at this point, but the reason I do it is because I care. I've probably read over 3,000 articles at this point. So what I do is, let's just say I've read 50 articles today, right? I share the five most important ones that I want my family to know, that I want my loved ones to know, and I'm sending it to them via text, and I'm like, hey, read this, read that. So why would I not let you guys know? We're all in on this together, right? If you have some research that I should read, tell me. I don't know at all. I'm just like you researching, right? So whatever I deem important enough to share with my loved ones, I share with you guys, because if I can help make one person take this more seriously, or and their family, or if I can protect one person and have them be safe, then that's worth it. Then it's all worth it, right? So before I start this video, I do need to make a disclaimer. I'm not making this video and giving advice to any of you guys as a healthcare professional. I'm not doing this video as a pharmacist. Doing this video as Barsha, and the reason for that is I don't know your health conditions. I don't know anything about you really, right? So you need to take anything I say with a grain of salt and run it by your healthcare professionals, your doctors, with any advice that you want to take from me. So the way it started is, for me, the way it started is back in, I would say, December, January, when no one was talking about it. One of my brothers started really kind of panicking. He's usually always reads the news a lot, and he started panicking. He opened a group thread and he told all of us about it. And I took it seriously, but my family kind of didn't, because why would you then, right? Like, no one's discussing it then. And I remember this back in January, like, I'm warning my coworkers. I even called my neighbor and I was just like, listen, I know you're supposed to meet somebody who just traveled from China. Can you not meet them? Like, do you know how ridiculous I sounded? Because this is in January, right? But still, you have to do what you think is right. You have to do whatever it takes to protect your loved ones, no matter how you sound, right? Because how I would not forgive myself had I not warned others. So then, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of stopped researching for a bit, and then I kind of started panicking again around February. I don't know, me and my family, we really started taking it seriously. I haven't seen my mom and dad since then. It didn't make sense to me when the schools were still open, because I'm just like, okay, just because the kids aren't sick doesn't mean they're not asymptomatic carriers, bringing it home to the grandparents, bringing it home to the elderly, bringing it home to us, right? So I kind of took my kids out earlier than normal. I was scared. And the reason I was scared is because, I always say follow world trends, right? I'm reading what's happening in China, South Korea, Singapore, and slowly it's coming to, Spain, Italy. You're seeing the world like collapse in front of you. So what makes you think it's not gonna come here? We could have like, I think what bothers me is we could have stayed so ahead of the curve. We had time, we had so much time. And that's what upsets me, but what can you do? It's just, we're not invincible. If it's happening slowly and it's spreading, we could have been ahead of the curve. Unfortunately, we're not. So number one piece of advice that I have said repeatedly: wear a mask. Why would you not wear a mask? At this point, especially, why you wear a mask? I know when I first said it, I had a lot of pushback, kind of, because the CDC, World Health Organization, our leaders at this point were telling us, only wear it if you're infectious yourself, right? Because if you're infectious, you're gonna wear a mask so you don't spread it to others. But you have to understand the context of why it was said. These leaders had to make calculated decisions, calculated risks, when they're talking to all of us, right? They're aware that there's a shortage of masks. There's a dire shortage of masks right now, right? They knew that they can't tell people, you know what, everyone wear a mask, because if they do, everyone would have hoarded it, just like everyone hoarded toilet paper, right? Everyone would have hoarded it, and what would have happened then? The healthcare professionals right now, the doctors, the nurses who are in close contact with COVID-19 patients, who they have to ventilate, they have to They need it. They need it more than anyone else, right? Because if they don't have it, and they don't kind of, they're going to be the first ones in line to get sick. They're going to fall ill. Then what? If all of our health professionals don't have it, then who's going to take care of us? So as a leader, that was the right thing to say, because you needed to save it for them. But I remember when they said it, I was just like, oh my goodness, everyone, it's New York City. We're in such close contact with some people. We're on the train with hundreds of people. And there's asymptomatic people walking around with, like, I don't know if I was asymptomatic. I don't know if you were. People are in close contact with people. People are coughing, sneezing in contained areas. And I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, how much is going to spread like wildfire in New York. The thing is, when I tell you to wear a mask, I don't mean hoarding it. Don't go buy 1,000. Don't. That's very irresponsible. And I wouldn't even suggest buying the N95s, with the 95% protection, or the N100s. Leave that for the doctors. Leave that for the nurses. They need it. They're in contact with COVID-19 every single day. Do you know how scary it is for them? What I would suggest is maybe the surgical mask, like the blue ones. That's 89% protection. That's great. Like, you should already be practicing social distancing. And if you have the blue mask, that's great protection for you. If you're an essential worker, if you have to be out a lot, if you have to be in contact with people, I would probably suggest the blue surgical mask, and maybe like a face shield even, because then your eyes, your nose, and your mouth is protected, right? That's pretty much the most you can do at this point. So I would suggest that. The second point is wash your hands. You have to wash your hands. There's been so many videos where people, with the blue liquid on the gloves, they show you how to properly wash your hands. It's actually very informative, because most of us wash our hands very quick, right? We're not used to 20 seconds, right? Or at least 20 seconds. We're not used, like, it's like you have to do the nails, you have to do inside of the fingers, you have to do it on the outside, on the inside, on the wrist. I kind of do it all the way up to my elbows even. Simply because that's like an exposed area. Not that it can go through your skin, but it's just, I guess when I sneeze, I don't like the fact that I'm not washing that part. But yes, washing your hands at least for 20 seconds. Sing a song if you have to. I think I sing like the happy birthday song twice. I think that's just the mother in me at this point. It's just sing a song. I think I yell at my husband all the time, like, that's not long enough. You only washed it for 5 seconds. So yes, we have to, because think about it. If the germs are on our face, on our hands, and we don't touch our face, you're pretty much fine, right? But what happens is we touch our face so much. I touch my face. Oh my goodness. I touch my face so much. I think like my eyes itch, my nose itch, but you have to train yourself not to. So once these germs are on our face, if we touch our eyes, we touch our nose or our mouth, we're giving the virus entry into like the mucosal membranes of our face, right? So that's what we have to be wary of. The last point I did want to bring about is gloves. That's a 50-50. A lot of people say, you know what, if you wear gloves, it gives you a false sense of security. I get that, because think about it. When you're wearing gloves, you're outside, you're touching the shopping cart, you're touching so many things. And in a way, you're thinking you're invincible, right? You're not touching anything. But then you're opening door handles, you're touching your own steering wheel. Now you bought it to your own steering wheel, and you're using that same glove. If you're, let's just say, a cashier or anyone else working outside, you're using that same glove. You have to treat your gloves like your hands. So I wear gloves. I wear gloves because it kind of reminds me not to touch my face as much. But you have to treat it like your hands. I wash my hands. I wash my gloves as if it's my hands. The inside, the outside, the wrist. I wash it thoroughly. I sing my songs. If you're outside and you don't have access to soap and water, have a hand sanitizer with you and use it on your gloves. Treat it as if it's your hands. And then maybe like mid-shift, or if you've been wearing the gloves for quite a bit long period of time, just take it off and change it to another new pair of gloves. I believe that's the safest way. So mask, gloves, washing your hands. I know it's been repeated a million times, but please, guys, we have to be safe. We have to protect each other. Please give me any pieces of advice that I should use, that you've learned. I know this is hard, but we'll get through this. Until next time, bye.